Scrapbooking Buddies, Debbie Martin here. Welcome back for number 6 of the Savvy Scrapbookers. Today we're going to be using the US of Yah paper and embellishments. I hope you enjoy making these pages alongside of us because we are enjoying doing it for you. And make sure when you're done with this video that you hop on over to Nicole's Scrapbooks and see video number 2 and the Lazy Scrapbooker and see video number 3. Okay, this is what you're going to need today for my part of the Savvy Scrapbookers. You are going to need this piece of paper that's plaid, and it has white with blue stars in the back. You need this United States of America paper, and you want to make sure that it's correctly, you can read it correctly. That's how it's going to go in the trimmer. You need a piece of white cardstock. And the other 2 pieces of paper from the pack is this diagonal line. Let me bring it in so you can see it. And the back side of the diagonal line. And this is blue plaid. And the back side of that is USA. The back side of this one was the flags. Okay, we're actually not going to be using that side. Okay, so these are the papers you need. You also need these borders from the border pack. They're actually, if you flip them over, they're red and blue, but there's 2 of them in the pack. So you're going to need both of them. You need this fun banner. Let me put that there so you can see it. And then this fun stars. And you're going to be able to use either side that you want. Okay, tools you're going to need. You are going to need your straight trimmer. Okay. You are going to need the fireworks punch. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a ruler, and a corner rounder, or you can round the top edges just with a pair of scissors, okay? And I use some foam squares, but that's totally optional whether you want to do that. So let's go ahead and start cutting. So let's lay our paper aside here. We're going to start with our plaid paper. And here's the cuts we're going to be doing. We need 3/4 of an inch by 12. So let's flip our trimmer around here and go to 3/4. It's right there. 3/4 of an inch by 12. Okay. Then we're going to turn that sideways and we're going to use 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 is right there. Okay. So you're not using this piece, but go ahead and save that piece over there. Then we need 3/4 of an inch. Actually, that should be 1 3/4 of an inch. Oh, no, we got a new card. I'm trying to do cards for you guys today because the last time I typed it was a little too small. So it's 1 3/4 by 12. So that's the half inch there. So it's the next big line over. Okay, and one more time because we're going to do 2 of those. 1 3/4, which is right there. I'm loving this US of Yah stuff. Very, very fun. Okay, so we've got 2 of those. We're definitely using these. We're going to set them to the side. In our next cut, we're going to make sure that this is 7 1/4. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger, so we're going to trim that off, which we're not going to use. Okay, so set that in the not used pile. And now we're going to bring this back over, and we're going to turn it sideways, and we're going to go 10 inches. Okay, so why it's in here, do we actually have to do the 10? I wanted you to see that we're going to be using this on a page like this, but we're going to cut it, okay? So it's already 7 1/4. We're turning it, and now we're going to do a 4 3/4 inch cut. But because I'm going to actually put it like this on the inside edges, I want to keep those just like that, okay? Or just like that, it doesn't matter. Put that in the pile that you're going to be using, okay? And our next cut of paper we're going to be doing is the red, and it says United States of America. Now, the print is pretty small, but zoom in on it or pull your glasses out and make sure that you can see it really good. But we want it to be correctly in the trimmer. So it says United States of America. And we're putting it at the 4 inch line. in the 4-inch line again. And then we're going to make 4x6 mats. I love making 4x6 mats because I figure you can take almost any picture and trim a 1/4 inch off of both sides, and you have a perfect mat. Plus you get 6 mats out of a piece of paper. Okay, so our last cut is at the 6. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we're going to be doing our white cardstock. Okay, so our white cardstock, the first cut we're going to do, sometimes it's easier, just kind of a tip for you. It's easier if you use the one and like the 1/2 inches here. It's a little easier to see than over here. So our first cut is a 1/2 inch. Okay. Okay. And then with the strip, this is going to be part of our picnic table legs. We need 2 that are 3 inches long. Okay, there's 1 and 2. Then we need 1 that's 5 inches long. So you're just going to be cutting 1 inch off basically. Put that with the stuff you don't need. And we're going to save this for our little picnic table coming up. Put that over there. And then we need more white cardstock. We're going to cut some white mats because the paper was a little bit busy. So pulling the white behind it kind of really helped, I think. So we're going to go to 6.5. And then we're going to do 4.5, 2 4.5 inch mats. Okay, 4.5 and 4.5. Okay, so now we've got those mats cut. Now we need some fireworks. If you haven't played with the fireworks, you can either leave this as a firework. Today I'm going to kind of be making it as a sun because this page was more of a picnic page, but if you're using it for the 4th of July, then go right ahead and use it as fireworks, okay? But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to spell the word picnic out, but you might want to do family or fun or whatever you want to do. So you're going to punch, because I'm doing picnic, we need P-I-C-N-I-C. So we need 6 of these. So you're just cutting that out of whatever's left over here. And, okay, so we've got 6 of those. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. I've already kind of made this ahead of time so you guys didn't have to sit here and watch me trim every single one of these. I can totally leave these as fireworks or trim them off. And all I did was go in and trim the longest one to match the shorter one. And then you get kind of more of a sun look to it. See how fun that is? Okay, so now you're getting 2 looks out of this firework. So, and then we're gonna put little letters on these later. Okay, awesome. So we are done cutting. So we're ready to start putting together. So what we are using for the backgrounds are your other 2 sheets of paper. We have the red diagonal stripe that we're gonna be using here and the blue plaid. There's no really, I mean, you can put it either way. I don't know that it really matters. So pick the way you like. And then we're gonna grab our 2 long 1 3/4 strips. Okay. And we're gonna put on these, kind of, my idea was to kind of make it look like a picnic tablecloth. So we can put those, and I'm gonna wanna flip this one over because it's going on that side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this over and put a little bit of repo tape because I want it to look kind of like, I don't know, lace at the bottom, kind of a scalloped edge. So I want the blue to be up on this side. So I'm just bringing it in just so, and I'm gonna, I'll pull it up to the camera so you can see a little better. But just so the tops of those are sticking on there so that you can still see all of the little slats that are in there. Okay, We're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to come in and put our adhesive right here across the bottom. And you really do kind of want it right across the bottom because it's just grabbing the little lip of this. And we want the red side up on here. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we did before, where we're just bringing it all the way across, just like that. And then let's go ahead and put adhesive on the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to put it on my border, and I'm going to put it on this and bring it back over here. Now, if you wanted to edge the corner around the corners, you could, or you can keep it straight, because later on we are going to edge the top of our picnic table that we're doing. Okay. So go ahead and put your adhesive on this. I hope you guys are enjoying the Savvy Scrapbookers. I know we are really enjoying doing them for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that on. So the bottom just kind of touches almost, because we want these to look like a double page spread when we put them together. Okay, our next thing we're going to do is we're going to take those two, that 10 by, I think it was 7 1/4 ones, and we're bringing them in here and we're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to bring those together just for a minute because I'm going to want to put them together. So it looks like it's tying the 2 pages together. We're actually going to bring in our little banner here too, and we're going to cut it off. Grab your scissors again. We're going to cut it off right here where there's 3 of them, okay? These are actually one of the ones that are kind of alike, so it doesn't really matter, but put some adhesive on the back, and you're definitely going to want to use Repo for that. And I'm just going to put it at the top edge, because once again, I'm kind of making one page flow into the next page. Then go ahead and put your adhesive on that. Okay. Now we've got that in there, we kind of just want to center it, so you can just eyeball it a little bit. Get it where you want, and then go ahead and put your adhesive on the back. It is a beautiful day here in Indiana today. Sunny and 78 degrees. I think that's perfect. Hope you guys are having a good day too. And we're bringing this in here. Okay, perfect. Now we're ready to come in and bring in a couple mats. Now what I did, now we're going to pull these apart again, just so that you can see, I kind of centered these in here. So it looks like there's 2 mats, but it still is tying the pages together. Okay, so go ahead and put your mats on. And I'm kind of lining that one up on the bottom of that blue line. And do the same thing for this one. Once again, you're going to want to make sure, never fails. I'm always out of a tape runner while I'm doing a class. So let's go ahead and grab another one. If you don't know how to refill these, super easy. You take the top off, you put the refill in and put the lid on. So super easy. We really do have the best adhesive out there. There's just no doubt about it. And I'm bringing that on the bottom of that line, centering it, and there we go. Okay, now we've got our other 2 mats, and what we're going to do with, we actually got 3. We're going to flip these over and use the star side, and then we've got these big white mats. So we're going to bring those over. We're going to put some adhesive on the back. This time we're putting the adhesive on the red side. And we should just bring that in here and center it perfectly, and do the same thing again. This reminded me of picnic tablecloth. So I'm like, it just begged for a picnic table. So that's what we're going to be putting together next. So that should fit right in here. And you can kind of center it however you like. Want a little space in between there, I think. Something like that. Okay. So once you get it the way you want it, go ahead and put your adhesive down. And I do want a tiny little space in there, I think. So this is going to be perfect for Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day. And we are ready to bring our last mat in. You're going to end up with 1 extra mat this time. Doesn't really matter. But we're not going to put our last mat in because we're actually going to do our picnic table now, okay? So let's go ahead and grab our little pieces. Now I'm going to push this up because you're going to kind of need your lines down here to get it to look like a picnic table, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this one up on this little line right here, just to give it the right angle. Then I'm going to bring it down until the corner of it. Let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. Okay, I'm going to bring the corner down and I'm going to trim that off. So just grab your scissors and that's going to give you the look that you want, okay? And then let's put it back on that line. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to touch it. Now we don't have a line that we're doing, but we're going to touch the two corners and it should give us that same angle where we can come in and go to the corner. And I'm going to pull this up so you can see it. So you're cutting that little itty bitty piece off. Okay. So now we need our picnic bench. Now you can leave it just like this if you want. I kind of liked it angled. So what I did with this was just kind of repeated that same thing. You're going to go from the bottom and do a little bit of a triangle, come over here, do the same thing. Little bit of a triangle. That's how much I cut off, okay? So now I'm going to put some adhesive on this because I want to make my picnic table stay together, okay? So there we go. There's the bottom of it. We're lining it up. We're going to bring this in here and we're going to bring it in. See how there's a line right here? I'm bringing it in right there on that line, kind of in between, get a nice straight line. So now we're going to do the top of our picnic table. So what I did was I brought my corner rounder in here. If you don't have a corner rounder, you can just use your scissors and kind of round it off a little bit if you'd like. I'm just going to come in and round the top of the corner a little bit and round this one to give it a fun little edge like that. And then we're going to grab the long strip that we have here. Okay. Now you can decide, because it's going to be underneath, which side you like. I kind of like the darker side. I'm going to grab the little piece that I already cut and I'm going to cover up this part of it. So as you can see, I need 1, 2, 3 and a half. So I'm going to come in here and just cut this piece off because I don't need that one. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And then I'm going to bring it in here. And it depends on how much of the star you want. Do you want a lot of that star showing? Or I don't actually like the star showing. So I'm going to bring my scissors in and I'm just going to cut part of this off. That way you can make it as big or as little as you want. Okay. So now I'm going to bring this in here. Line it up nice and straight. Then all I got to do is take my scissors. And voila, a perfect table. So now we're going to go ahead and let's make sure that's straight. Is it straight? Yep, it is. Good. And I'm going to put some adhesive on there because I really want my picnic table to kind of stick together a little bit before I bring it over. Okay. So I did put adhesive on there. So now we can pick it up without our table falling apart. Bring it back down here. And we're going to bring it right here on top. Okay, so this is the point where I'm going to want to figure out where I want this to go. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring those fireworks in, or the suns, depending on which you did. I went ahead and put some little tiny navy letters on it. So I'm going to just set these in here. Now I trimmed all the fireworks off, but once again, if you're using this for 4th of July, maybe you want to leave it on. You'll have to overlap them a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to play with it to see kind of where I want. I want to make sure this is kind of centered in here. Then I'll bring my picnic table over and center it in there. And make sure your picnic table is straight. Put it down. Now I'm ready to go ahead and put my mat down. Make sure if you're liking these, make sure that you hit subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're going to use this for. Okay, and then we're ready. I put foam squares, and here's the reason I put foam squares on these. I just thought it was kind of fun to have fireworks pop. Because why? Because they pop. So I put a little foam squares on this. Now, once again, say you don't want to use it as a picnic. You want to put family fun. You want to put July 4th. You could do any of that with these. And I just put them kind of all over the place because that's what fireworks would look like, or that's what sunshines would look like. And we're done. I hope you like this today. Thanks for coming into Savvy Scrapbookers. Make sure you go look at Nicole's and you check out Donna's, and the links are right below. Happy scrapbooking.